Welcome to Beyond Two Bridges. I'm Matthew. I'm here with Ryan. We are back for another week, and this episode is really exciting. We have one of our, members here, Shane Potvin.
Yeah, it should be fun.
It's going to be a fun episode.
Shane is a riot.
Shane's fun. Like, honestly, this is one that was really exciting to put together.
What do you mean only this one? What does that mean about other guests?
About other
About
guests.
Yeah. Hey, also, you could probably pick up on it. We're going to take this, the intro a little bit lighter now.
Yeah.
Our feedback from our first few said that we're a little stiff. We didn't have a lot of fun. So we're going to be our real selves now on the podcast. I'm going to have a fridge cigarette, also known as a Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi.
And I'm
on
going to
air.
continue to drink water. And that's okay. That's our life changes
Yeah.
between the two of us. I think what we'll do today is to just get people to understand who we are a little bit, talk about something important and
Yeah,
exciting that we just announced, but also just make sure that people know who we are, because I think we have fun personalities and we don't always get to show.
I'm glad that we think we have fun personalities.
Yeah, listen.
While we're talking about it, Chris, how much time do we have? We're supposed to do 5 minutes here.
Oh, right.
3.5.
Oh, we already started. I
go.
just thought we would get into it for a bit.
Let's go.
All
Talk
right.
about things that matter.
This is exciting because we just announced, and when this goes out, it'll be about a week old, but we announced our finalist of the Business Excellence Awards for 2026. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of information, and then we'll kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. Enter.
So, yeah, exactly. So the Business Excellence Awards are on May 14th, 2026 at Caesars Windsor. And we just announced one of our biggest partnerships.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. For those of you who work in this community, you know that Libro Credit Union steps up and has done a remarkable job of becoming a key member of our community. Lori Atkinson, being the regional director of the region, is the primary, spokesperson for them. So Libro came on as our presenting sponsor for at least a 2-year deal as presenting sponsor. So multi-year deal, ensures sustainability of the Business Excellence Awards. Very, very excited because this is one heck of a Business Excellence Awards that we're going to be blowing out of the water. So why don't you kick it back to you and talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing?
So what I'll do is I'll talk about our finalists, because we did announce all of the finalists. Dad, hello. It's fine. You know what? It's part of the.
Are you coming? Chris in the shot.
Oh, perfect.
Chris in the shot.
Chris,
come on in. This is Chris.
The light. Yeah.
Chris, come on in. There.
The contrast is even better for me.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
You can see all my wrinkles now.
So let's get into these finalists. We have 21 finalists that we have announced, plus 2 recipients, people who will be acknowledged at these Business Excellence Awards. So 9 new categories. The first one being Professional Excellence Awards. The finalists are Peter Harasovic from Shibley-Wrighton, Sandra Pupatello, Senator of Canada, and Federica Nazzani, Managing Partner at Capital Assets.
Outstanding panel of leaders in our community. Diverse, bunch of different backgrounds. They've been leaders across industry in all kinds of different organizations. So much like all of the rest of the finalists, very, very strong. Yeah.
Next up is the Visionary Founder Award. Frank Abruzzese, President of Alpha Core Group. Claire E. Winterbottom, posthumously President, Founder of Anchor Lamina.
Anchor Lamina, yeah.
Anchor Lamina. Yep. I love a pronunciation problem on my end.
My apologies.
Dr. Tafor, Owner, Chief Surgeon at Windsor Laser Eye Institute.
Again, I think these 3 folks represent diverse industry. We've got manufacturing in there. We've got technology with the Eye Institute, and I mean tech and IT with Frank. I also know that Frank is growing, so congratulations.
Next up, Business Legacy Award. This represents small and large size business within the region. Valiant TMS. We have Rosati Group and Ground Effects.
Yeah, again, we've got, pillars of our community. I think that's an award later, but pillars of our community. I mean, it's pretty hard to outdo some of those businesses. We've got the Soltz family. I know that they have, changed hands with the organization, but Valiant has been, I think, 65 years or so in our community. Rosati Group has passed 50 years, and GFX, Ground Effects Group have done, they're a global multinational, right? Like these are 3 huge Windsor success stories, Windsor Essex success stories.
Yeah. Destination Windsor Essex. This leans on our tourism and hospitality sector. So we have Wolfhead Distillery, Iron Kettle Commissary, and Cooper's Hawk Vineyard.
Yeah. So we've got, 2 drinks, drink
Mhm.
type places,
Yep.
and incredible work by Ben out at the Iron Kettle Commissary. So I think that is a good representation of our community, and the tourism and event space, if you will. I think it's a really good fit.
That's a great mix. Next up, Innovation Champions, the Charge Lab at the University
Yeah,
of
Narayan
Windsor.
Carr. Narayan
Yep.
Carr leads that.
Green Shield Canada and Jameson Laboratories.
I mean, I talked briefly about Narayan Carr. Cutting edge research coming out of the University of Windsor. University of Windsor, by the way, is doing great stuff, and their research profile is going up. And then the other two companies, again, large employers in our communities, anchor employers, cutting edge technologies that go into their products, either the service that they provide with Green Shield or the products that are created through Jameson. Extremely important for our region.
Leadership in Motion. So these were past young professionals. They have now grown into their careers and industries, and they're being recognized again. So we have Fabio Costante, CEO of Windsor Essex Community Housing Corporation, Celso Oliveira from BDC, Vice President of Financing for Southwestern Ontario, and Paul St. Pierre, President and CEO of Landscape Effects.
Yeah, from what I've understood from the judges, this is one of the hardest ones to narrow down.
Mhm.
Not so far as that, these three candidates are not willing or worthy, that they're outstanding candidates, just like the rest of the field. But it's hard to boil it down to where someone was at 5, 10, 15, in Paul's case, 20, 25 years ago to
Right.
where they're at now. So I think this is a good example of the evolution of their careers as
Mm.
opposed to the success they had at that time. And I think all three gentlemen in this case have evolved from where they were at when they won to where they're at now.
Yeah, I agree. And the last category that is with finalists specifically, we'll get into the ones that were recipients, but we have Icon of Impact. So the creme de la creme, the best of the best, pulled from every single category in past Business Excellent Awards. We have Caesars Windsor, Pernod Ricard, operating locally as Hiram Walker and Sons, and Teppermans.
There you go. Icons. I mean, I don't know any other way to put it. They're icons in our community.
Yeah.
Very large employers, cultural, social impact. I mean, it's ideal. I mean, it's iconic. I'm going to segue to you now. So why don't you talk a little bit about Loretta Stoica, the winner of the Athena Award this year?
So, as mentioned, two were pre-announced. Loretta has been selected as the Athena Leadership Award recipient. She used to be, at one point in time, I believe it was 1995, she was our board
She
chair
was our
for
board
the
chair.
Windsor
Yeah.
Essex Chamber. In 1996, the Athena Leadership Award actually had its first inception at the BEAs. And then in 1999, Retta champion for the Athena Scholarship Fund, and she sits on that committee still with some amazing female champion and advocates.
So she
And
was essentially like the
she's the
core of
creator.
Athena here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Without Loretta Stoica, Athena Windsor Essex doesn't exist.
exactly. So she's a worthy recipient.
Perfect candidate or perfect winner.
Yeah.
And our other winner?
And so we have Spirit of Community. So this is the one that kind of pulled the past Believe Windsor Essex Pillars of Community together. And the recipient this year is the Stephanie and Barry Zeckelman Foundation.
Again, yeah, I mean, Atlas Tube's name is all over our community here. Barry and Stephanie contribute dollars, time, effort, energy, resources to a number of different charities and organizations. I think it's an outstanding fit, and Barry continues to champion our region, continues to champion North American manufacturing. So I think it's a really good time for this organization to win this award, and very, very fitting and very well deserved.
Yeah, I mean, all of these finalists definitely represents the theme of what we were trying to accomplish, which is creating that legacy. So legacy built, future bound. Everyone here represents that to a T.
Okay, before we leave, tell me more a little bit, or tell the audience a little bit more about what to expect the night of.
So it's a completely revamp, and if you've seen our faces on social media talking about it, or you've seen it in the media, the Business Excellent Awards, May 14, 2026, will be completely rebranded in all capacity. We are at the Coliseum for the awards presentation. We are then in the Augustus Ballroom for an afterglow. Full networking opportunities, celebratory. We'll have live entertainment, food stations, past hors d'oeuvres, some VIP service. It's going to be one of the premier events of Windsor Essex, specifically for the business community. And we're so excited to be back at Caesars this year for it.
Incredible. So with that, why don't we kick it over to our guest for this segment? I know we're going to magically change clothes because they're definitely filmed at the exact same time. To our guest,
Shane Potvin.
Shane Potvin.
Welcome back to B2B. Today, we are joined by Shane Potvin, a passionate community advocate and creative entrepreneur with deep roots in Ford City. As chair of the Ford City BIA, Shane has been instrumental in revitalizing the neighborhood, championing small businesses, and building its vibrant arts and culture identity. He's also the driving force behind the Dropped On Drouillard Festival, which brings thousands together to celebrate local makers, music, and creativity. Beyond that, Shane is the founder and creative director of Spotvin, a boutique design studio, and runs a co-workshare, a collaborative space for freelancers and entrepreneurs. His work reflects a clear message to strengthen connection and help Windsor's community thrive. All right, Shane, welcome. Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
One thing that I wanted to kind of quickly talk about beforehand is that we know each other from outside of the chamber world.
We do.
Lauren and I used to work together, your wife,
You did.
a long time ago, and you did find some photos recently that you shared back with me. We can definitely find a way. Yeah. Can you explain why you looked for them and what about them did you like about me?
Is it, wait, are you just looking for vanity?
Yeah,
here?
100%.
What did you like about me?
Yeah.
Okay,
What did
sorry.
I'm
you
glad
like
you
about
caught
Yeah,
that.
what did you like about me?
I don't even know how it came up. I think Lauren, we were chatting about you, and you always come up in conversation. And
As I should.
It's
Perfect.
always favorable. I think my first introduction to you guys was we bought a faucet from you.
Oh, right.
Remember?
When we were
From
doing home
Pierre was selling it
renovations.
on
Yes, my husband.
Marketplace.
Yeah.
So we bought this faucet. I think we went to pick it up, and then I think she'd always said that, his partner she had worked with. And then she had mentioned that there were these photos of the two of you chatting it up on a couch or something.
At
Like
a
this.
I don't remember the context.
That's right. Well, it was
of
at a
where
Mongolian grill for a holiday party. And I was in my Zac Efron days where I had long hair, flat ironed, and I decided that I wanted to chug a bottle of soy sauce. And
Soy sauce.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was a great opportunity.
You had like little Nicky hair. It was pretty special.
Yeah.
And so she showed me the picture. I loved it, and then I sent it to you. And then I tried to replicate that photo the other night when we saw each other at the mixer.
That's right.
It was close.
Yeah.
It's not. You're so much more just refined.
There's a lot to
I'll take
unpack
that,
here.
yeah.
So you were
Yeah.
selling fixtures? That was your previous job?
No.
His partner was selling one on Marketplace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And my wife bought it because we needed like a brass fixture for our new kitchen during COVID.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then we went and picked it up at your house. And then I think that was my first meeting of. I
Pierre
don't know if I
Matthew.
met you then.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember the time frame. It was around the wheat and
Yeah.
thistle days as well, too, right?
And then we
So-
met a lot during those days.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And here we are.
All right, I'm interjecting. We got to
Dropped On
talk a little
Drouillard?
bit about
Yeah.
Dropped On Drouillard. Perfect. Nice segue. Tell us about Dropped On Drouillard.
Well, Dropped On Drouillard is a all-day urban street festival that's located on Drouillard. Shocker.
Hence the name.
Yeah, and so myself and a small team of people have been organizing it I've been heavily involved for the past 5 years, since the year before COVID. We had a bit of a break during COVID, and then it's really blown up to be something quite special. I mean, it started as something really special. Mike DeFazio actually was, just like a young kid who bought a building on Drouillard. He was kind of crazy, and literally talked the BIA into. He used to do burnouts in the parkette, drink beer, cars, motorcycles, and literally talked to the BIA and said, we do this Arts and Heritage Festival, and it's kind of like, how would I do this thing? And they were like, okay,
Yeah.
go nuts.
Go nuts. Have fun.
And that was the first job.
City culture.
It was so cool, like to have a board or BIA that will allow that. And that was the year we had just bought, my wife and I had just bought property on Drouillard, 1,000, the corner of Welpton and Drouillard. And we kind of had some ideas, but we didn't really know what we were going to do. So, actually, Dropped happened shortly after we bought it. We opened the doors. Hadn't been opened in years. And I had my Windsor apparel line. So I was just selling T-shirts out of it for the day. And that was our big introduction into the neighborhood. We met a lot of really great people. Like actually, a couple we met that day bought the Chance building 2 doors down, which is, they've done really great things with that property. So yeah, it's turned into, Dropped itself is just, over the past 3-4 years has really turned into quite a beast.
Amazing.
And it's really exciting because it's, we can just people want it and it's different, it's different than all the festivals in the neighborhood. And I think what makes it so special is the street because it is so close and
Yeah.
tight and
Well, talking about that neighborhood too, I mean, Ford City, you are currently the chair of the BIA.
correct.
How long have you been doing that for?
I'm heading into my 8th year.
Okay.
I started in 2018 on the board for a year, and then 2017, and then 2018 I came on as the.
And in terms of your time while being a part of the BIA, what are the different things that you've actually had a hand in changing within
Um,
in the space?
I've been extremely involved. The BIA it was active, but it was it'd been around for many years. We didn't have a lot of traction for new business in the neighborhood. I had this kind of vision. I don't know what it was, but it was, the neighborhood had all this, it had such gumption and grit and, it was just primed to be something cool. And so for me, it was just about, I had control. I had one property and it was like, okay, I need to find a business. And I knew that a destination restaurant might be a good thing to bring people to the yard. And through some
Not your
connections.
milkshake.
Was
Yeah.
literally thinking that.
Yeah.
And so I had some connections through a friend of mine, Tom Lucier, actually, who owns Fog and Circuit and who's now in Drouillard. He had bumped into John Alvarez. I think he was Indigo. And they were like, we're looking to open a taco place in Windsor. And, do you know of anyone that has property? And he was like, nope, I don't know anyone who owns property. And his girlfriend was like, did you go look at Shane's building yesterday? He was like, "Oh yeah." So he connected me with those guys. It was their partner was with Tom at the time, Tom Scully, and through some chats, they were like, "This was a perfect space." And so the cantina was sort of I mean, Mike was there. He was really doing the Mike's thing, Mike DeFazio. But the cantina was really the beginning of, and I take little credit for it, other than like, okay, put in a restaurant. But it was a spark that really, really set off the neighborhood. And I mean, they were lineups literally the day they opened. And that street hadn't seen customer traffic like that probably in 30 years.
Yeah.
That's been my involvement. It started as that, like stuff that I could do myself. And then I just realized like I'm very connected. I know a lot of people and it's all about, making connections, building relationships with the property owners, the business owners, and then filling in the pieces. And so for the past 8 years, it literally has been, dealing with the city, making phone calls, texting people, and like, this should be a coffee shop. And chance was that. I was like literally looking at going, this has to be a coffee shop. And Ryan had been looking, connected Ryan to the landowner or the building owner, and boom, they helped make it work for them. He roasted at first and then he opened. And now Chance has kind of become what I think is the barometer of the neighborhood, right? You watching them grow over the past 4 or 5 years. They've hired 4 or 5 new staff members full time. It's really cool to see. And so through that, it's just been sort of, you get to play, you get to play builder. It's like, what else does a neighborhood need? Like a sandwich place, Cantina left, obviously, for good reason. They wanted to grow and move, and they did really well in Walkerville.
Careful the microphone.
They did. They did.
We'll send you the invoice on that.
Yeah, they did well in Ford City and wanted to grow, and so we found Sawyer's and
Excellent food.
yeah,
We're not going to try that today. It's better fresh. Get down there, get to Ford
You
City.
got some ribs here that I get to eat on.
By the way, we're
You do
filming
not
9:30 in the morning.
You do not ask my wife. You don't want me eating food on camera. Corn on the cob. Yeah.
All right.
Limits.
We will scrap that idea. Thanks, Chris.
So the past 8 years has literally been that. It's our own active projects. I mean, my wife and I always felt like you got to do to prove that it can happen, right? So I put my business in there.
I'm cutting you off. Tell me about your business.
So
what do you do?
I have a couple. So I have Spotvin, which is a graphic design advertising business. I've run that for about 15 years. Started downtown in the old Reno's Kitchen house. We took that house over together. So I started my business there, and then we went to Walkerville, and then now I've moved into Ford City. So full service design agency for various clients around the region. And then in my building, I've opened a co-working space on the second floor called Co-Workshare. Smaller space, probably for about 10, 12 people, but it's a mixture of day desks and long term. So you can book a desk online, FordCity.com, and it's $25 a day. You can pop a spot and work there for the day, or you can have a long term desk. So it's $400 a month, and you get your spot. You can put your
Amazing.
monitor there and do all their things.
Who are you seeing fill that space up?
It's funny because I've seen it go up and down. It's the only co-working space really that I know of right now in the city. There's a couple others, but not like where you can just book online and show up and then leave. There's one on Ottawa Street. A lot of it is companies who will pay. Like the long term is a lot of companies who will pay. They get a stipend every month to pay for co-working or whatever. Because a lot of these online companies. So I have one company that rents an office at the back. I have, a couple people right now. And then it's just a mixture of gig people, entrepreneurs. Again, sometimes they're just remote workers who just want to get out of the house.
Mhm.
So the summers are usually slow. This summer had been busy just because I had I had a lot of long-term people. And then it comes in waves, and then a couple left just because of certain circumstances. And then yeah, now it's a lot of just day desks and that sort of stuff. So I'm there every day. It's sort of that's how it came out. I had gone to WeWork in Detroit and was like, "This is cool. Why don't we have it?" And I can't work at home. I just have a hard time. I live close. I live in Walkerville, so I walk to work every day. But I need that division.
Yeah.
I need to leave the office, go somewhere, and then so that's how the co-working space happened, and yeah, it's been really good.
If I worked at home, I would go through sleeves of Oreos. Like just sleeves of Oreos.
Wow, that is yeah, that is
At least you know that about yourself.
Sleeves of Oreos and like reams of Diet Pepsi. Like I would
Okay.
just
I would just end up in pajamas and not showering for 3 days. Like that, I think that's the problem. You end up in cozy clothes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I don't know. I just need that. I need that mental space to get out and
Yeah.
take a walk and get to
Well,
walk at
yeah.
the end of the day.
And the fact that you're able to do it in a space that is as creative as it is for what you do, I
Yeah.
think that probably allows you to feel more
Yeah.
creative, right?
And it's in the I mean, it started. I rented a space. Actually, my wife has a store in Drouillard, and her first store was in a space that we just rented during COVID because I had rented out my co-working space to a company because I couldn't work at it. It wasn't allowed, and all the things were locked down. So we rented a space across in the middle of the block on Drouillard, just because I needed to get out of the house. I had my office in half of it, and then Lauren ended up opening a bunch in the other half.
Mhm.
And then since she grew into that space, and then opened up her new shop.
you got the mic, shameless plug. Tell me about your wife's business.
It's kind of a bad. It's a bad.
That's thing.
Yeah, bad
Ooh,
timing.
sorry.
Saturdays.
Matthew's going like this.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Tomorrow's the last day in business.
Actually?
Yeah, she is.
Oh.
Not for.
By the time this podcast will have come out, it will
Yes.
have been since closed.
Yes, it'll be.
But that is not a
It's
failure.
not a bad thing.
It's
Like
not a bad
phoenix
It
rising
is
from the
rising,
ashes.
and it already has risen from the ashes. No, my wife had a really great run, and this was another thing that we wanted to do. She wanted to do. The neighborhood needed more retail. She'd always want to open a retail store. She had wonderful retail experience with
Mhm.
you
thing. Right, at Winners.
at Winners.
Mhm.
And so she opened the small space next to me and then grew to a bigger space, which was next door to Chance Coffee on Drouillard. And it's been 4 years, and it's really great. I mean, it is sort of, it really embodies, I think, what the neighborhood wanted. It's a really unique retail space in Windsor. We don't have a lot of retail, like that local retail.
Mhm.
And so she was into vintage. She was into, housewares and home goods, and she built this amazing space called Bunch. And we've done really cool. She's done cool events, pop-ups, and it's been a really great space for her to nurture her creativity. So through that, she applied for a job, and she got it, and it was a really amazing position. She's now the GM at St. Vincent de Paul.
Amazing.
Yes. And so it wouldn't have been through her experience before this was in ABA therapy with like autism. And, she did a lot of one-on-one therapy. And so this was never part of her wheelhouse. And so owning a business, running a business, she has good, I guess she has a good compass and she knows how to, manage people. So she applied to this job and it was a pretty long process and she got it. So now she's she's running the organization, which is 4 stores and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, so she started 2 months ago. So unfortunately, the retail space is just, we can't keep it open. So we're in the process of closing. Tomorrow's the last day, or 2 weeks ago, whenever this airs. Tomorrow's the last day for sales. And it's nice we're at a place where it's like, seeing this chapter close is not a bad thing. I'm always been change is good.
Yeah.
And you have to if she would not have gotten this job if it wasn't for what we did
Yeah.
she did in that store. So,
And I think also the opportunities presented themselves because of the flexibility that you are able to have with
mm,
the type of work that you
yeah,
do,
yeah,
right? Like what Lauren has done is also because of what you were able to do with her with that space.
yeah.
So, I mean, again, it's another testament to how much your hands have been in that pot at that Ford City level, creating opportunities within the community.
Yeah, and my wife and I work very closely together, and we're sort of, we're always helping each other out. And it's been a fun journey to, watch her grow and also be part of that. And, it's a lot of work. It requires everyone sort of like
Yeah.
having a partner and you're doing your small business. And it's all hands on deck sometimes, whether they want it or not.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
And
that's a perfect segue. We're gonna take a quick break here,
okay,
but when we come back, we'll get into kind of your secret of success,
okay,
as well as we'll taste something on the menu.
amazing.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
We'll take a break for
Thanks.
our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Shane Potvin.
Exciting offers all year round with Plantscape Windsor, an affinity partner of the Windsor Essex Chamber of Commerce. Liana and her team are here to help you transform your space and elevate your workplace. Right now, Chamber members can take advantage of 3 incredible offers. First, enjoy 10% off year-round maintenance services, including commercial, industrial, and institutional snow removal and grass care, with a minimum 1-year contract. Second, bring life and color to your office with a customized tropical plant service featuring a free 3-month trial valued at up to $250 per month. And third, boost morale and well-being with horticultural therapy. This is a unique, hands-on experience designed to reduce stress and inspire creativity. With 1 free trial for up to 15 participants, don't just maintain your space, transform it. From lush greenery to stress-relieving horticultural therapy, Liana and her team at Plantscape Windsor bring life, beauty, and well-being to your workplace. These exclusive chamber member benefits won't last forever. Visit plantscape.ca today and start creating a space where people thrive.
Welcome back to B2B. We are here with Shane Potvin.
Hi.
Hey, we are
Howdy.
gonna get into. Oh, sorry. Did you
Hi.
want to? Hey.
Hey.
Here it is. Hi. We're going to get into our segment where we taste a local product. So we've had some great things so far on the podcast, but today we have something that I know you're a fan of.
Okay.
It is from a local brewery, but I'm going to kick it off to Shane or to Ryan.
That's Shane. I'm Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah. So I was out the other day after a meeting, and Jason Toner walked in the fridge at Walkerville and grabbed a product called Winterberry cider from Walkerville. And he said, it's great. I love it. I absolutely had to try it. So that night while I was there, I'm like, my wife loves cider. Why don't I buy a couple cans? Took 2 home, still have 1. Delicious. Why don't we give it a try? Walkerville Craft City Cidery, Winterberry Cidery.
This is great. This is in my backyard. I live moments away from this brewery. I just went there on Saturday. It was cozy for the winter.
Okay.
They had like a big TV fire, but like on the projector.
Yeah.
So it was like super cozy, Christmassy, good music. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Give it a try.
Beautiful.
You got to see if it's got any legs.
Nose? Yeah, it's got leg. No,
got-
it's wine, isn't it?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to
Cheers.
be fancy.
Yes. Well,
Thank you.
mission accomplished.
I like it.
It's good, eh?
Yeah, I like ciders.
I also enjoy cider.
Especially now, like beer is just, I'm a beer guy. I drink beer. I don't drink whiskey or liquor but sometimes you just get a little like, I just don't want to drink a beer. Right
Yeah, you just need like a little something bright in your mouth.
These are really good. It's got a hint of
You heard that
berry.
first.
Berry, some winter berry. Yeah, it's delicious.
It's got a hint of winter. Is it winter berry that I hear?
I taste a little winter berries.
Some berries? Yeah.
No, but it's a great product.
Bubbly, handcrafted, semi-sweet apple cider infused with delightful flavors of black currant.
There's something else. Is it apples?
No, that's what it said. Apple. Black currant.
So this is
good.
obviously part of like a limited run for
Yeah,
Walkerville
I
Brewery.
think it's one of their winter specials. So it was excellent.
Yeah, their regular cider is also quite good.
Yeah. Get out there and try it. Walkerville.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So let's continue on with our conversation about what I would love to talk a little bit about is Spotvin and kind of where you're at with Spotvin. And we've had some conversations about where you're heading with it or what you're wanting to do with it.
So I've shifted. I mean, I had an agency for years, like with a big team. I was in a partnership and I left that partnership. And so it worked for me at the time because I was joined the BIA and, it's a volunteer position, but it takes up a lot of time. It had been a full-time job, I would say, for the past couple of years. So running Spotvin actually helped because I got to manage it as big as I could handle. So I always had a handful of accounts. I did a lot of work in Ford City. I did all the branding and painted a mural for Sawyer's. I did Petrella's. I did my wife's stuff a bunch. And so during that time, when I had give me, thanks for giving
That's
me
at
a
Walkerville
carbonated
Brewery.
beverage.
I didn't know if you were about
before.
to cry for a second.
It could have been something else. So over the last couple of years, working with the BIA on the BIA, and then running Spotvin, I started to realize that I was always running Spotvin in a way that we're always looking for big accounts, and we had a lot of successes over the years. We won the Spitfire account in I think 2013, and we had done that at the agency that we worked at before. My partner at the time was big hockey guy and sport guy, so that was a huge win for us, and it grew our business and but it grew it to the place where I was not as involved creatively anymore. So I was looking forward to get back to the basics, and actually I'm a creative at heart and I like doing ground floor work. So Spotvin has grown with me over the years, and then now as I've been part of the board of the BIA and working with businesses, and as the landscape is changing dramatically in the creative industry, like video and design and AI, and it's becoming a bit commoditized. So I wanted to modify my business. It was always about as much as you could bill, and I realized a lot of businesses couldn't afford what I did.
It's tight.
Yeah, it is really tight. And, I would say you still got a lot of value from me because it's, one, it's just me. So I don't have a big team of people. I pull in people as I need, but it was about being manageable. And so lately I've sort of reshifted my focusing on small business, helping the people like Sawyer's and Bunch so that they can afford to pay for services that, I hope to give you more than what you pay for. But I had to bring my costs down or my prices down considerably. I wanted to bring them down because, as you know, like in this landscape, in the small business landscape, it's really, really hard. And retail's been tough. My wife is closing her store, but it was a tough year. I mean, for a million other reasons that you know of. Retail's tough in Windsor. Retail in general has been tough. Belts are tighter. So I wanted to create a service that, again, I'm fast, I'm fairly inexpensive, but wanted to build a kind of a portfolio of things I can do for people that makes it manageable for them.
How do our listeners get in touch with you?
You can go to my website. It's spotvin.com, spotvin.com, and they can reach out to the contact form there. Yeah.
So one of our things that we have talked about on our pilot episode is the way in which we are perceived in the community.
Not everybody.
Not everyone.
Jane.
Mostly by you.
The Chamber of Commerce, you mean?
The Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets.
We met, I think, my first month on the job.
Yeah.
And we had lunch at Sawyer's.
emailed you or him.
Yeah.
No, you weren't in this role yet. And I think maybe I
Yeah,
emailed you.
and so we started chatting. There became this joke of the Chamber of Secrets.
So this is where
And
I
our
take
cloaks
cloaks
and
out.
all,
Can
yeah.
you turn the lights?
Where are
to
the
Yeah,
cloaks?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is where the lights on the post will
Yeah.
come
Put on our
down. Yeah,
rings.
exactly.
And,
We'll chant. But so
Do you know
we-
the chant?
we
Does she know
already
the
do
chant?
you know the chant yet?
joke is we already chanted before the podcast. And,
So, with that being said, what we've been doing with all of our guests is talking about the secret of success, and kind of where you see yourself in that thought, that thought process. So, in terms of like Shane Potvin as a person, Spotvin as a business,
Yeah.
and you as a business owner, what is your secret sauce to your success, and kind of what you want to put out there?
I think those have all just become ingredients, I think, in part of what I am. And if you were to ask me 10 years ago, who are you? I would have said I was a graphic designer, and that is it. That is me. And then I joined the board, and then I joined the BIA, and I found this deep rooted passion. I was always community driven. I started a Windsor apparel line. As I roll my sleeves, you can see it.
Wait, which one?
Tattoo? This one. So it's Rose City. And so I started this apparel line in 2009 because there was a newspaper article that we didn't have good Windsor apparel. I submitted this design, not this design, but another design, and it won. And it got all this press. So I started an apparel line. I've been putting out shirts for years. And so that was kind of rooted in my community. I'm always community focused. I love Windsor. I think I always wanted to stay here. So that changed. Then I joined the board, and I found this love for community work and dealing with businesses and actually showing, I can make a pretty design, but I think the work that I do on the BIA shows, my connections. I know a lot of people. I'm good with people. That's how the world works, and that's how things get done. It's through a couple text messages and the odd email, and just making something important for a moment. And then making other things important for a long time. My secret sauce is about, it is about community. And I'm now looking for the next chapter of my life. I mean, I enjoy running my business as Spotvin. I've enjoyed the chair being on the board, but I'm also just a volunteer. And, you also need to find other ways to make, to satisfy your creative needs. And so I'm sort of
See where it goes.
see where it goes. And I'm always going to do all of it. But those ratios can change. I love the city. I love the potential that this city has. I think I've always seen it. I don't think everyone sees it. It's the same reason that people saw Drouillard as this, dirty word. And oh God, like people told me 7 years ago, like, you crazy? Why would you buy a building on Drouillard? Well, now you can see it. And that takes action. It takes support from a lot of people, but it actually takes doing. And I think that's a big reason why I think Windsor has a lot of doers. For me, that's my secret. It's not in a chamber. I want everyone to know that. But it's about promoting, I think, the region and promoting each other. I think that's, supporting each other and championing everybody, which is, and championing you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And, the idea of a chamber in and of itself, like, I mean, that's essentially a vessel or some sort of like closed object, right?
Yeah.
That is a chamber. That is what a chamber is. We would technically be in a room that was a chamber.
This is a chamber.
We were in a chamber.
Yeah.
But I know Matthew and I and the team and the board, we are completely opposite from that. We are complete opposite. We're trying to open it up. We're trying to grow. We're trying to, identify with different groups and, connect and, do everything that's possible. It's almost like we're an antechamber, but the Windsor
New
Essex
name?
Antechamber of Commerce.
New cloak.
Oh, God, I don't know how many cloaks I can have. It's so heavy. Yeah, the velvet is very, very heavy.
Yeah, very, very nice. Heavy.
It's you spare no expense on the velvet. Yeah.
You too can get a cloak for, no, I'm kidding. Anyways,
I think that's great. I think
you.
that you, and I've noticed that, and I think when I reached out, when you first joined the organization, it was a breath of fresh air, and I said that to many people because I think it needed it. I think it needs, I think there are a lot of organizations in the area that sort of need a new lease on life and new mission, and I think you guys are doing it in a way it's different. This is different. I mean, this is sort of outside of the norm. You'll champion other people. It's not necessarily in this bubble or chamber that you have. I think it's about championing. Windsor gets so Windsor Windsor can get very, very like competitive, like in
Sure.
I think in other industries and theater and
Mm-hmm.
it just has this bad reputation for everyone just sort of like competing against each other. We're all in this together and
We are.
want everyone to grow and do better. And so I think doing stuff like this, it's not so like promoting your bubble is
No.
important because that reaches out. I mean, not only are you in advertising, you want other people to,
Yeah.
you don't want just your isolated
Success
group.
is shared.
Yeah.
Success
You
is
want
shared.
other people to
Yep.
see that, oh, maybe it isn't this, maybe I was wrong about that. And
We
maybe
don't
it
wear
can.
cloaks. Yeah. Along those lines, it was a great segue. We ask every guest, vision of Windsor, Essex 2040, 15 years from now.
2040. I love this. My vision's been changing dramatically. I think, again, when I got involved with the neighborhood, you think that like, oh, we're just gonna change this, week in a month, and Drouillard's gonna be busy, and there's all these people. You don't realize how incremental change does take. It takes a lot longer than you think. So it's been 7-8 years. We're actually heading into probably the next 1 to 2 years is going to be the busiest year we've had probably in 60 years. Like crazy, crazy development. So I'm really excited about the future of Windsor. I think we see some big changes happening. There's been talk about Windsor growing as a big city for a long time. It's always been beyond me how Windsor, where our location is, access to the water and nature and Detroit. I think that's all been like, how do we not have 1,000 tall apartment buildings in the epicenter? And your previous guest was talking a lot about how to bring those things back together. I think we need to be a region that attracts business and attracts different things in Canada and in Windsor. But I think in 15 years, I honestly think Windsor is going to be something we don't recognize. I think we are on the precipice of some big change.
That's a big word.
Um,
Thank you for using
I don't
that.
even know what it means.
No,
Precipice.
perfect. Even better.
Isn't that what like a mosquito has, like
Yeah.
on their face that they bite you with?
They sting you with a precipice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. We're on a proboscis of change in this neighborhood. I didn't even know I knew the word proboscis.
great. I like
Is that a real word?
It is.
Oh.
Wait, that's what.
That's a creative word.
yes,
It's a,
proboscis.
yeah,
I
yes.
might change my business to that.
Please do. You know where.
formerly
Yeah.
Spotvin, now
Yeah,
proboscis.
Proboscis.
That's right.
I think Windsor, we're starting to see some building blocks into some big moves in the city. I think as the market has come down, building costs have come down since COVID. I think that held us up for a few years. We saw it in our neighborhood and around as, investments, but it's starting to unlock, and we're starting to see investments in our neighborhood and across the city. Like there are talks of, neighborhoods of 600 units of between Walkerville and Ford City. These are huge. I mean, they're developments you've never seen in Windsor in general. And so I think this happening, organizations like yourselves and Invest Windsor Essex and the Small Business Center and TWEPI and, all of these things coming together with people at the table that want to see us grow. I think, I just heard the 1,500 new jobs at the, those stories I think are not going to stop. And I think with promotion and with people championing it and pushing it up, I think we're going to end up in a really great space.
And it's going to need people like you and us and our colleagues, but
Maybe not him, but
Me-
you, I think, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
I was actually going to say the opposite, but okay.
Oh, we're all just like fighting at the end of this. Yeah.
No, honestly,
Thanks.
Shane, thank you so much. Like the way in which that you ended that was perfect. I think it's true. Where we're going is going to be big, and yeah, I think it's gonna shift very quickly over the next couple of years. I mean, for Ford City specifically,
Yeah.
and hopefully you feel like you've actually, really you've done the work to make that happen and allowed that next, gentrification of what your.
Such a bad word.
I know. I apologize.
No one was
The
living in-
precipice. Baskets of change of Ford City.
Thank you.
You've done a lot, and hopefully you're proud of that too.
I know it's been a really great journey, and thank you for
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's it.
thanks for
That's our
this.
time.
Thanks, Ryan.
That's been Beyond Two Bridges, where we were able to bridge our community engagement, arts, culture, and small business with business as a whole. And thanks for being here.
With a little bit of secrets.
Little bit of secrets
Yeah.
always.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shane.
Thanks.
Thanks, Shane.